7. So y over v is d over a. Solve for, what do they want me to solve for? Solve for y. Solve for y. Hey, Wendy. All right, so, okay, so we're in section 5.7. And what 5.7 is, it's a bunch of formulas, which means there's a lot of different letters. But the rules are the same. I think you'll find this not too bad at all. The rules are the same as always. They're just given lots of letters instead of just X everywhere or just Y everywhere. They're given formulas which have lots and lots of letters. Anyway, you know how to solve, right, when we have two equal fractions? What do? Yeah, just diagonal, diagonal. Like that. Just diagonal, diagonal. So then we get... Oh, by the way, they're picky about their capital versus lowercase. I don't want you to waste hours of your life. Did you notice that, Tong? Yeah. They're real picky about that. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we good to there so far. Right? When you have two equal fractions, you just go diagonal, diagonal. Is that good? And then you gotta remember what letter they want. Because they could have picked any letter to solve for. I'm going to continue with the baseball here. You got to keep your eye on the ball. Right? It's all about what letter, what's the ball here? What's the letter they want me to get alone?
Y.
The Y. They said solve for Y. They'll pick different letters at different times. Sometimes they'll redo the same exact formula but have you solve for a different letter the second time. Anyway, I want to get Y alone. So what am I going to do to get that Y alone? Divide by the A because the A is multiplied next to it. Yeah. There it is. There's the answer. We got Y alone. Now careful when you type that in. It's a little d, a big V, and a little a. It matters. It's case sensitive. So let me just write that out. Case sensitive. MathExcel is picky here. MathExcel.com is case sensitive. So whatever they had as a capital letter, you got to keep capital. That V and the D and the A were lowercase. Keep them that way. So that's why we got Y alone. We're done for number 1. Is that good? So no big deal there, right? Let's try number 2. 2 will have a little more of a wrinkle. This is an S. Here, I'm just going to change it to X. And I'm going to solve for X. I'm going to change the question a little bit. All right. So there we go. We want to solve that for X. So on this one, can we just cross multiply? No, because there's 3 fractions now, huh? You can only cross multiply when you just have 2 fractions. So what do we do then instead? Yeah, common denominator, right? All the denominators together, top, top, top. So go ahead and do that. I know you know how to do that. Okay, so FXP, 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 and then we cancel, right? F cancels F, got XP, X cancels X, FP, P cancels P, FX. Here's the wall. Are we good to there so far? Is this making sense? So I just did the whole common denominator, all 3, FXP, top, 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 cancel, bring out what's left over. Now is where you really got to keep your eye on the ball, so to speak. What do they want me to get alone? X. Well, it's right here. Just divide by the P, right? That's wrong. Why is that wrong? Because there's another X, yeah, over there. Here, this is what I wanted to show you. How do you deal with this? The thing we're trying to solve for, X in 2 places, isn't it? The X is in, so it's here. This term has an X and that term. And we're trying to get X alone. How do you deal with it when X is in 2 places? You got to get it alone. How do you get 2 things alone?
On one side.
Yeah. Step 1, I'll give you 2 steps. Step 1, get the X's on the same side. Yeah, first thing is to get those X's on the same side. So I got to jump this term over there so both the X terms are on the same side. So we'll have XP minus FX equals, oops. I think that P is lowercase actually, huh? I started making it big. Yeah. Whatever, just check in the end, you know. Yeah. So we good to there so far? Remember when something jumps to the other side, it changes the sign in front of it, right? Okay, now, what could I do to, x is still in two places, right?
Factor.
Yeah, good. Factor out x, like with a GCF, what's in common, you know? So yeah, just take out that x. Just say x parenthesis, and what's going to go inside?
P minus F.
P minus f, huh? And then, and divide, huh? Factor out the x and divide. So last step, just divide by p minus f. Boom. There it is. X is alone. Make sure when you type that in, you use the right cases. The f is capital, the p is lowercase. So that's something we're going to do a couple times, 2 or 3 times. You'll have x in 2 locations, get them on the same side, factor out x, and divide. Questions on that one? Okay, let's go back, try another one. Number 3. Oops, I already forgot it. N equals W plus C. Number 3. W plus C, P over 7. Solve for P. Okay, let's try that one. Do we just have one fraction on each side there? Yeah. Right, isn't that one big fraction on the right side? That's not 2 fractions, is it? And the left side, what can I do with the left side to make it look like a fraction? Over 1, right? Because n divided by 1, anything divided by 1 is the same as itself. Right? N divided by 1, that's just n. What do you get there? Yeah, so just do the cross multiply thing, because that's just 1 fraction on the right side, 1 fraction on the left side. So diagonal, diagonal. You can put the 1 there, but 1 times anything doesn't do anything. Huh? So you can just skip it if you want. Now, what are we good to there? What are we trying to solve for? P. Always keep your eye on the ball. So P's right here. P saying, I want to be alone, please. Get rid of this stuff that's with me. So just divide right now, huh? Yeah, just divide by the W plus Z. Boom. And there it is. 7n over W plus Z. It's a lot better than those word problems, huh? Is this okay? Questions I can answer? It's the same rules, it's just a lot of letters. No questions, all is well. Okay, try that one. CY over C plus Y. We want you to solve for it. Is that just 1 fraction on each side? Yeah. Right, that left side, make it R over 1. Make it look like a fraction. The right side is just 1 fraction. So just go diagonal, diagonal. R over 1, right? Diagonal, diagonal. So we get R times C plus Y, 1 times CY. Get to there. And then we distribute. So RC plus RY is CY. How are we doing? Is that good? Is that making sense to there? So So now, see what you can do. Let's keep our eye on the ball. What's the ball?
Y.
The Y, yeah. Which is in what? 2 locations. So remember what we do? Y in 2 places. Step 1. Get them on the same side. Step 2. Factor out Y and divide. So get them on the same side, factor out Y and divide. Can you do that? Why don't you try to finish? So I'm going to jump this over. So there's step 1. See, I got the 2 Y's on the same side. And then factor out the Y. Is that good? Factor out the Y. Here's the Y. Factor it out. And last step, divide, right? By C minus R. Boom, boom. Cancels out. Hey, can I cancel these C's or these R's?
No.
Why not? Costco glue on the bottom, right? It's a package deal. You buy the whole package or nothing, so we can't do it. Good deal. How are we doing? Questions on that one? How many got that one? How was that one? Okay, good. Looks like about half. Questions I can answer on that one? That's a hard one. All right. Okay. Try that one. Can you solve that for P? Well, so common denominator, all 3. We've done that several times. You know about that. PXB, PXB, PXB. It's always what we do. Common denominator, all 3, top, top, top. Then cancel. Bring down what's left over. Cancel. Bring down what's left over. Cancel. Oops. Bring down what's left over. Yeah, now I do think it's helpful to keep your eye on the ball, so to speak. You always remember, what are we looking for? P. Where is it? There and there. It just kind of helps your eye, you know? Just kind of focus. Oh, yeah, there's the thing. The P and the P there. So I'm trying to get that. So what do we do when P is in 2 places? Yeah, get them on the same side. So that means I got to jump this one over there, huh? So that'll be XB. This guy just comes down. Equals PX minus PB. There, again, there's the P there. It might just help you keep underlining the thing you're trying to solve for. They asked me to solve for P, so there's P. And then you factor it out. Remember greatest common factor? So take out P and X minus B, right? Because that P could multiply back in, huh? And last step then is to divide, huh? Just divide by whatever's next to the P. X minus B, boom, boom, gone. P's alone. We got P alone. So we managed to get P alone. Is that good? That's about as hard as it's going to get in this section. Much easier than the word problems, huh? So those formula ones. I mean, actually, there's a couple more tricks I want to show you. But that's close to the top there. We good on that one? You're close to the top of the... somewhat similar, very, very much similar to the last one. See what you can do with that one. Common denominator, top, top, top. What are the denominators on this one? Just the X and the P, huh? One, let me jump in and help. So, what's a common denominator? XP. So we go XP, XP, XP. We good so far? That's the only 2 denominator pieces. So then cancel what you can. So the X's cancel. It's just going to be P times 1P. The P's cancel, just X. and 1 times xp is just xp. You don't have to put the 1, just 1 times xp is just xp. Okay, now at this point it's easy for confusion to set in. Let me help. So the main thing that helps you is just remember the steps. First off, always underline, keep your eye on the ball. Like I said to my son all the time, baseball, eye on the ball, eye on the ball. So who's the ball? X, 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 right there. So then you go, I think that kind of focuses. You go, oh yeah, it's in 2 places. So what do we always do when it's in 2 places?
Okay, X, Y, Z.
Yeah, you get them on one side. So you got to jump it over there, huh? Because you've always got to get those 2 X's on the same side. So then I'll bring down the P here. This will just come on down. P equals XP minus X, right? Because it switches signs when it jumps over. Okay, now keep it underlined. Keep your eye on the ball. That's everything in baseball and this section. So there's the X. It's in 2 places. What do we always do now to get it into 1 place?
Factor.
Factor, meaning we put in X and we put parentheses. Right? It's a little weird this time, but good so far. Right? You get the X's on the same side. Then you factor out the X. Now, how do you factor? Well, whatever works. Meaning, you have a minus here, you're going to have a minus in the middle. X times what will go back to XP. Well, P, that one's easy. And then X times what will go back to just regular X. The 1 there, huh? Everybody see how we have to have that 1? Does that make sense? If I was to multiply X times P, XP, X times 1, X. That's right, isn't it? These are the same thing, aren't they? This is just the factored version. That's the distributed out version, right? That makes sense? All factoring is unmultiplying, huh? Saying what was it before it was multiplied, right? You're doing backwards multiplying. All right, good. And then last step to get X alone there is always just divide, right? By P minus 1. Can we cancel the P's?
No.
Because glue down here, right? Yeah, and I always say glue. I'm trying to help you remember. But really, I want to be more mathematical about it. It's because if we did that, if we cancel those P's, that's dividing, isn't it? And dividing is not the opposite of subtracting. You see, if that was times 1, then we could cancel the P's, right? I say Costco, whatever, make my sayings. But do you see logically, mathematically, why that's also true? If that was times, then dividing is okay because that is the opposite of times. It would undo the times. But when it's adding subtracting, that's not the opposite, right? You can't say, I'm going to cancel those P's. Then you just broke subtraction with division. Dividing is not the opposite of subtracting. That's the more mathematical. I always say Costco and my little Costco thing, which I hope is helpful. But mathematically, dividing is not the opposite of subtracting. You can't break a subtraction bond by dividing, right? You can only break a multiply bond by dividing, right? Multiplying and dividing are opposites. Adding, subtracting are opposites. But dividing is not the opposite of subtracting. All right. You're like, Mr. Heron, we're good with Costco, whatever. All right. Okay. Let's try that one. Is that just 2 fractions? Yeah, just 1 fraction each side. Diagonal, diagonal. Okay, so put this over 1, diagonal, diagonal. K times A plus PX is 1 times PA. We good? And then distribute. Boom, boom. KA plus KPX is PA. So now let's keep our eye on the ball. Who's the ball? A's the ball. So A's there and A's there, huh? You know the game plan? Get them on the same side. So jump the KA to the other side, right? So we get KPX is PA minus KA. And then, what do we do next? Factor out the A, because again, that's the ball. So factor it out, P minus K. Last step, divide by P minus K. Boom. There it is. Can't cancel any of that stuff because of the Costco glue on the bottom. Dividing is not the opposite of subtracting. So there we go. That good? Questions on that one? Thinking I'm probably going to jet out of this section. If you're good, go to the one. Okay, that one looks pretty fancy. Pi, that's just a Greek letter is all it is. So just treat it like a letter is my point. That pi, it's a P in the Greek alphabet. So just whatever. We're not going to put in 3.14. You probably know that number. We're not going to do it. Just leave it pi all the way through the problem. It's just another letter for all we care. Nothing impressive. So anyway, we do have a fraction though. That's the main thing we should be thinking about. What do you do whenever you have fractions in a problem? You get them out of there, huh? So I would get rid of that fraction right now before anything else. I'd multiply both sides by 5. Gonzo. So 5y is pi j squared 5m minus j. Does that make sense for my first step? I just multiply both sides by 5. You might wonder, don't I need to bring the 5 into the parentheses? No. Whenever you have parentheses, whatever you do to the outside is eventually going to distribute in, so you really have done it to everything. So we're good, just like that. See how we got rid of the 5 on the right side? So we don't have fractions anymore? Now, just go ahead and distribute the right side. Boom and a boom. That'll be pi j squared times 5m minus pi j cubed. Everybody see how that became j to the third? Because that j squared hit the j. The j cubed. Kind of a big mess, huh? I'm going to stick this 5 in the front. It's just kind of weird having numbers not be in the front. It's okay either way, but I think it's easier to look at like that. You can put that stuff in any order, by the way. It doesn't matter. A bunch of things multiply. It doesn't matter what the order is. All right, we're trying to solve. Now, what are we trying to solve for? Who's the ball? M. Yeah, right here. Only one place? This isn't a two-placer. Just get that thing alone. We'll be done. Right? Here's the wall. M said I won't be alone. Get rid of this 5 and pi and j squared and minus pi j cubed. Get rid of all that stuff. And I'll be alone. Right? You tracking with me? So what do we do to get him alone?
Pi j cubed first.
Yeah, jump over the pi j cubed. Yeah, add it over, yeah. So it'd be 5y plus pi j cubed. Everybody okay that I got j cubed there, by the way? Makes sense? Because j squared hit j. Like x squared times x is x cubed. J squared times j is j cubed. Okay, and now, what do? M wants to be alone.
Divide 5 pi j squared.
Yeah, just divide. All that stuff is just times the m. So divide it all off, huh? Boom, boom. There it is. M's alone. And I can't cancel that stuff, can I? Because the top has a plus sign. It's glued together. So that's it. You good with that? Are we happy? Questions on that one? No questions, all's good? All right.